Happy Sunday. I'm back to provide you all more with education news. I've been out for a little while just prepping for a conference that I was attending, the National Association of School Psychologists Conference. It was amazing and wonderful, and I had a great time, and no education news happened during that time, right? It was fine, right? Nothing bad happened. No? Oh, well, we'll just try to catch up on what's been most recent. We'll give that a shot. I have a national story for you and then two state based stories. So let's get into it. The first kind of relates to a story we had covered previously in one of my TikToks, if you're over on that. But the US Department of Education is launching an NDEI portal for folks to report discrimination based on race or sex in publicly funded K 12 schools. And this is on their US Department of Education website. And they have a quote here from Moms for Liberty that for years, parents have been begging schools to focus on teaching their kids practical skills instead of pushing critical theory, rogue sex education, and divisive ideologies. But their concerns have been brushed off, mocked, or shut down. So this portal is supposed to rectify that Moms for Liberty seen problem. But there is a huge problem with this, is they just fired a bunch of people in the Office for Civil Rights in the US Department of Education. So even if this was done in good faith to make sure that there's an easy way to report this, they started firing the employees who would be investigating these concerns. So to me, this just seems like wildly different from what they're saying. And there's still cases out there of discrimination based on Title IX that are still not being investigated. So, this just seems like making some people happy, but not actually doing anything about it. In state-based news, in Ohio, we actually have a bipartisan bill in the Senate to fully fund public school breakfast and lunches, not just for kids who qualify, but all kids in the state in a public school. So this would be fantastic. There's lots of kids in the state who would benefit from a program like this, and it has bipartisan support, which is a fantastic place to start to actually getting it passed. Now, this has to go through the Finance Committee because we have to appropriate the funds to actually do this. So it has to go through that process first, which is a huge process because everything has been looked at for funding. So things like this can be kind of put to the wayside. This bill's actually happened before last year, and they took parts of it and not other parts. So hopefully we'll have more of a fully funded program, and that'd be fantastic for us across the state. And over in Michigan, we have a free speech violation. So a student decided not to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and chose to sit. And this is a middle school student, and the teacher, after the Pledge of Allegiance was over, said to the entire class, sitting down for the pledge was disrespectful. And the student, when went to explain to the teacher why that they were sitting, they just didn't feel comfortable. They're Arab American. They didn't like what was happening in Palestine. They're an 8th grader. But they decided to exercise their free speech rights. The teacher then told them that since they enjoy the freedoms of the country and that they live here, they should either stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or go back to their own country, which is a really harsh thing to say to a child. And then the dad went in to see what happened. And the teacher didn't even deny that this had happened. So we have somebody telling children to go back to their own country because they want to exercise their free speech rights, which are the rights of this very country. So I'm sure that this will go into some sort of court case or some sort of litigation. The Arab American Civil Rights League seems to be involved with this as well. So let's watch this case as free speech rights are dissolving for children. But if you're not familiar with this channel and you want to see more, I'm Dr. Kara. I'm a school psychologist and I do education policy news. And, I just want to share more information from the education side so that you can understand more of what's going on. So follow, find me on TikTok if this is on YouTube, and find me on YouTube if you're on TikTok. Have a good day, everybody.